Have you ever landed on a website and you couldn't actually see what they were selling? Well, that's exactly what's killing conversions on this luxury mattress page. And I'm going to show you in this video how unclear messaging and missing CTAs are silently draining sales and how to actually fix them fast. Let's dive right in. Okay, so I'm looking at your above the fold section. I'm setting the section height to 650 pixels. This kind of shows me a rough area of, what the majority of users are actually seeing. And we can see that there's basically no call to action in this section at all. So you need to add a button in your hero section. That's really important because if you are driving traffic to this page and people don't have a button to click on straight away, you're potentially going to lose people, because a lot of people, when they land on a website, a percentage of them are always going to bounce within a few seconds. So that percentage is very likely to be higher for you for your store, because you're not giving them any easy action to continue on your website. You're kind of forcing them to scroll down, And so make it easy for people. Make it easy for people to continue on your website. And to do that, add in a button in here. And that button can even just easily scroll them down to the next section. So it says engineered for 5-star hotel, silk top layer, 101 night trial, 30 centimeters deep. So engineered for 5-star hotels. I know that you're selling a mattress, okay? Because I read that on your form before I did this video. But new people, when they're landing on this website, can they tell what you're selling straight away when they land on your website? And no, it is not obvious. Engineered for 5-star hotels, that doesn't mean anything. It sounds good. Like, it sounds kind of like nice copy. It's kind of, captivating, but it doesn't mean anything. So to make your copywriting stronger, it needs to be clear. One of the most important things in copywriting, the fundamental thing, is to make it clear. If it's not clear, then it's not doing its job. Okay, so it's not really selling, which is the primary purpose of copywriting. It should be here to sell people on your product. So, and your supporting benefits down here, they're not actually tying into this at all. So you want to make it clear. And you know what you could even do to make this copy that you have functional? Add in a little subheading at the top here, and you can say Owl and Lark Air Silk Mattress, and then you have your main headline, engineered for 5-star hotels, and then you have your 3 bullet points. Silk top layer. But even this silk top layer, you need to tie in what the benefit of that is. Silk top layer, you need to basically communicate, well, other mattresses don't have silk, and silk is a really good material because, and you need to give reasons for it. Obviously, you want to keep the copy really, really short, so you want to do that in a few words. But you can say silk top layer for extra comfort, deeper sleep. Yeah, this can be a 101 night trial. That's fine. 30 centimeters deep. So you need to wrap a benefit to this one. This is a feature, you need to tie a benefit to it. So 30 centimeters deep sounds good, but what does it actually mean? What does that mean? Does that mean more comfort? Does that mean more posture support? Does it mean deeper sleep? Does it mean it's going to stay firmer for longer? Some mattresses, after you use them for like several months or a year, they kind of like lose their shape. But does your one actually retain its shape? Does it retain its structural ability? So there's 3 things that I'm recommending here. 1, add in a button, okay, straight away. So that makes it easier for people to actually click to the next step. 2, make your copywriting better by actually making it clear what you're actually selling here. And you can do that by adding the subheading at the top, Owl and Lark Air Silk Mattress, okay? And then 3, make your features, these little call outs over here, stronger by tying them to a stronger benefit. Make it clear when I look at these what the actual benefit of it is. That's going to make this section a lot more powerful just by doing those things. So then we come into your order form section down here. Now, all of this copy down here, the air silk and all of this, I would actually bring all of this info and put it underneath here. So that way we go from this section and then we go into this section. And if you think it's maybe a bit weird because we're going from one image to another, you can keep the air silk and maybe keep the subheading up here on its own, but then bring the price information, all of this price information together, and bring it in one section, because it's kind of weird. We have the price up here, we got another price option down here, and then we got another price option down here. Too confusing. There's actually another price info down here and another one down here. So bring all your pricing information together. And I'm being really serious about it, because when people see multiple different figures, it's just going to distract them. It's going to confuse them. And again, you want to make it instant for people. You might think, oh, this is obvious for me because I'm designing my website. I understand what the price is because it's here. Why won't people just spend that little bit of effort learning it? People don't want to have to work to actually learn about your product in order to buy it. They want to actually be sold to. They want you to do all the effort to make it easier for them to actually consume your product and learn about it, and then of course decide whether it's for them or not. So how you can do that? Make it easy for them to understand your product. Bring all your pricing information together. Bring all the benefits that we already mentioned up in your hero section down here again and expand upon them. Go through your images over here, which are going to be the most important part of this product page over here, because this is actually going to sell people on your product or not. And you want to touch upon all the key points over here. So for example, you're saying mulberry silk in here, right? But it's actually a little bit too small. It's a little bit blurry, but go in a bit deeper. Explain these points a little bit deeper, sleep cooler, sleep deeper, ultra breathable topper, go into a little bit more depth in here, make it a little bit more tangible. If you can, bring in some facts, bring in some figures as well to kind of back up some of your points. Like it would be cool if you had some surveys or you had some data to say, well, this top, mattresses with this top, people sleep, X amount better, or they sleep, X minutes longer every single night, or they get, give them some specific numbers. And that way you can kind of logically justify people investing this amount of money in a mattress. Again, you want to appeal to both the emotional and the rational side of people's brains. The emotional side is kind of all with the copywriting at the start. It's with the images. It's with the luxury kind of angle that we're going for. But the rational side, we also need to justify that. And the rational side, the only way you can justify that is making people see the ROI on their investment. So the return on their investment. How you do that is you start to use copywriting, pull out facts. Like this is going to help you sleep X amount longer. This is going to help solve your insomnia. This is going to make you more productive in your workplace. You're going to wake up feeling more refreshed every single morning. That's how you justify the ROI when people are investing in basically premium products. So when I would go through all of your images and make sure they're optimized for mobile, we can see in several of these images over here, they're way too small, they're way too blurry, and a lot of this stuff, I'm pretty sure this can be simplified. Like this is a pretty cool call out over here, but why not do like a 3D one? Make it more visually engaging to the eye. Do a 3D one instead of a 2D so they can see all the different layers. They can see all the different technology that's gone behind your mattress. And again, that's going to help them justify the rational side of their brain. Oh, actually, I'm not buying just a mattress. I'm buying a piece of technology. If you can sell them that this is a piece of technology, and your name is great, by the way, Air Silk, sounds like a technology. If you can then visually show them this is a technology, break down the layers, kind of do what Apple do. When they're selling any of their laptops or their products, they actually break down layer by layer all the stuff that's inside. They know that people don't really care about what's inside. They're not going to look in and see, oh, wow, they're using that piece of aluminum or they're using that microchip there. That's really cool. They know that people don't care about that or don't really understand that. But when they break it down like that, they want to create this feeling in people to, oh, wow, these guys really engineered this. There's a lot of science gone behind it. There's a lot of thought. Therefore, it must be good. That's what they're really doing to people. So you want to do the same with your product. And the best place to do it is in this imagery over here. I would certainly give them a size option over here. So for example, choose option, show what it actually looks like. So I know we're going to assume that people know what their bed size over here is, but go in with the mindset that people don't know. I know it's kind of like a bit of a weird thing to kind of wrap your head around. You would say, well, most people surely know what their bed size is. But if you literally go in with the mindset, and I'm telling you, this is one of the best marketing strategies you could ever do, assume that people are like kids or they really don't know anything about your product. They really don't understand anything about, even their own environment. If you make it that simple for them, if you even include like a little size selector over here and show them the different variations, that's going to make it just a bit easier. That might win you another 5 conversions every single month just by doing that one thing. And obviously that stacks up. That's going to make you more money. That's going to make you more profit. That will help you to spend more on ads. So those little things, they really do add up. Break down all the information. So this thing over here, remove my old mattress plus 50 pounds. Like, I'm not sure what this is, I'm assuming that's like an add-on service that you do where you basically have people come into their house and remove their old mattress. But yeah, again, I'm just a little bit confused by that, why you have that in there. Again, it's just like some of these extra stuff, I know they're like upsells, but you also have to think that with every upsell or with every additional piece of information that I'm adding, is it worth the distraction from the main sale? That's how I look at it. Yes, it might be cool if we added an upsell that's going to add X amount. But if it's not like a no-brainer upsell, I wouldn't have it in. This might be just creating more questions in people's mind. How does this work? Are people going to come into my house? Do I need to do this? Again, like more questions are going to come from this. This might mean more objections to people. This actually might cost you your sale or slow down the sale. You might actually get more people contacting you about this, your customer service. I'm not saying this is true for you. I'm just saying you need to start looking at this like from a different angle, the way I'm looking at it. Like when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, for my own business, is this actually making me money in terms of the time, the resources that I've actually got to dedicate to this? And would it actually be better if we didn't have an upsell like this and we just focused on getting people to buy the mattress, the main thing, or we replace this with a simpler upsell? Like maybe we'd sell like pillow covers instead. That would be, to me, a more logical thing to sell with this, right? What about the Air Silk pillowcase that's hyperallergenic, etc., that goes with the mattress? If you're looking for further help, we do offer a service where we can craft a high-converting landing page that is designed to outbeat your current page by at least 10%. Our specialty is designing these high-converting landing pages, and we pretty much do this every day for the e-com clients we work with, such as Snow, CarePod, Soloway, Velvet Caviar, and many more DTC brands, helping them to increase their ad performance and get better results in terms of their conversion rate, average order value, and overall profitability. If you're interested in learning what results we can get for you and how our process works, then check out the description. There are links to our website. And of course, you can also book in a call with me and answer any questions you have. Cool. And I hope you got some value from this video.